are the real enemies of humanity, individually and as a human species in this earth. And what is God? Who is God? Our interpretation. When we're dealing with the information warfare, we are asking these questions from your higher self, really, because we need to have awareness about our own authentic self and how it's shaped in this matrix system. In the we're navigating information spiritual warfare. We are empowering ourselves with these kind of uncommon but necessary questioning and coming up with the most satisfactory answers from your higher self, from the cosmic wisdom, some residues. It's not something we can read books and come to conclusions. It's something that inherent awareness, frequencies. This is how we navigate information warfare. Using most authentic experiences, observations, logical, critical thinking, we would interpret these information warfare and things and areas how we can highlight to enhance our own life and elevate our own awareness, clarity, and common sense and logical, practical thinking. Let's see what happens. When you see enemies, we immediately think it's somebody is external. Someone is out to get you, so therefore it's out there. We need to figure out who are our real enemies. But we can use these examples. Usually when we think about the enemies, but the most major damages is always done to us. Perhaps external agents started off, but because we haven't created boundaries, we never have a higher connection to the source, and we never our judgment, because it was so strong, our practical logical judgment, and we weren't relying on the intuition, so therefore we fall victim to our own making because lack of awareness. How do we use examples using everyday events? For example, if someone is maybe toxic friend, toxic external factors, we would need, it's there, it's a cosmic teacher, because we need to create healthy boundaries. When we lack the ability to do that because our own lack of strength, we fall victim and become your own worst enemy. You are now, whether it's through the entertainment media, mainstream, or personal inner circles, you got fall victim to an addiction that you had no awareness of your strength to just experiment or put into it, because we lack the courage, we lack the awareness of ourselves, meaning if we were to we were prone to addictive personalities, it is something that we are to stay clear of, because we know, we have a hunch about our own self. So we have addictive personality, so we stay away from things that can consume you in the long term and never add value to your life. So addiction to all sorts of things. It's never just substance or alcohol. It could be food, it could be any kind of entertainment, unhealthy uh, situations that have created by the external forces to entrap us. So this is what your own worst enemy is all about. Also, information warfare literally could become your own worst enemy. We always use this in the modern day. We say we are awoke individuals, we are awakened individuals. There is a contrast between these circumstances. The woke kind of information is out there. We need to navigate very carefully because it can consume you, and you will get stuck in a situation you can't tell the difference of what inability to see things as exactly they are, because instead of being awakened, we become woke. So this is another example. This affects us every day. So we become our worst enemy there. But it could always start off by someone, trend, the introduction, or get your attention. It could be set off by external temptation. But before we know it, we fall victim to these circumstances. The other factor is financial, because it's always, it seems, somebody external. They have all the answers to your problems. If you want to be more beautiful, if you want to get a job or employment with title, if you want people to validate you and clap you and acknowledge your existence, we fall into these effortlessly and thinking this is what is going to save you, this is what is going to make you important, this is what you're going to create legacy from. So we fall victim to situations like this. Also, and like I said earlier about toxic families, they will always start this trend early childhood, because they have that authority. We have adults in our lives. They have a title. They have access to your inner circle, and when you are most vulnerable, when you're most unsuspecting, when you are really trusting, they will put these ideas in your head. You're not good enough. You have, so therefore you have to figure these things out. You're always going to judge yourself by what they have contaminated your mind with. You're second guessing, gaslighting, manipulating, repetitively isolating, and criticizing. All of these things start off in early childhood by agents that is pretend this is supposed to be your family. This is not the natural order of things. So when we navigate this information, it might take a few years, even longer, for you to come to terms with hey, it is not you, this is somebody else's interpretation. For me, I've always had a really easy time with it, because I never take any of their judgment, harsh criticism, isolation, gaslighting, manipulating, hostility, lack of nurturing and support. I never take that to my heart, because I've always sit there in the corner. I mean, the creator, the heavenly, the source, the higher self, it's like got a really sense of humor. It will not bring your own family, because the damage is kind of optional there. You're not going to get easily heard, because we bring in agents from through marriages into these families, so they have access to you through the inner circle. So it is the humorous thing, and they will have these judgments judgment calls. Second somebody step into the home, extended family, the relatives, they would badmouth you. You're in the other room. Hey, I can hear you. You got that really wrong. It's so inaccurate. How can you be this stupid? We're cheeky. We are aware. We are connected. We're intelligent. So we have easier time navigating these information warfare. So this is how we keep on navigating, because we are dealing with the spiritual warfare, and we don't want to feel a victim. We want to be empowered through these setups by Matrix. The other perfect example is really appropriate for this time is I saw these clips, this really high profile politician, the female politicians that had a lot of authority over humanity, is circulating in the social media. The human, the citizen who was confronting this individual in a really harsh criticism she was exposed to, because we can be observant, use that as an educational moment, because whether you are not encouraging this, whether you don't have any investment there, but we can definitely learn something from these situations and these information. We have no option but to have educational debate over these things. So this individual, somebody named Free, but this female politician, she didn't seem anything free, anything powerful, was heavily confronted by a citizen. At the moment, you feel a bit compassion, but let's put these things into context. This extremely powerful individual, who are they mingling with? All these, the Eat Bugsy, the little fella, the hackable animal, and the kingy. This is their inner circle. This is who they mingle with, associate with, taking information so they can create policies. This is how they come up with these things to govern humanity. What I really want to stress is, when in a boardroom, when you're making these policies, you call them smart, but it's nothing, say nothing about being smart or intelligent. They are just a meaningless words, and we are creating these policies. We are going along with it. We are holding the status or the power in the control grid, so we can promote and activate these policies. These are horrible for the humanity, but they are smart policies, but they are nothing. There's nothing to say they are smart or intelligent, common sense, appropriate, even remotely relatable. So then, when these individuals make these policies in boardrooms, and you have a yes man there, oh well, we're just doing a job, of course we have to prioritize these things, we have to promote these things, now we have to be initiating these policies and procedures done in a boardroom. But none of these individuals are there to hold your hand when you are confronted with the citizen. This is the kind of silly games they are playing, and the humans also too can play these games. And when you're dishing out something into the masses, we have to know what we are serving. Is something that we might all have to feast on these things we're dishing out at some point. So this is the example. It's scary, it's sad, it's shocking to be confronted this way, but we have so effortlessly dish out these things towards humanity. Why would you hope that you're not going to get back, you're not going to have to eat what you dish out? So this is a really important observation, critical judgment, appropriate thinking, smart thinking, not the kind of smart that the external factors dishing out towards the humanity. Now, humanity, we always feel like we're such a, we feel dumbfounded at times because we are, what observation we can come up with is someone can never been to a school even for a rainy day, could have an extraordinary level of kindness, compassion, and logical, practical thinking when they're operating life and making life decisions. So we can't completely ignore these people and say they're useless eaters and hope that no one ever noticed, no one ever isolated these problematic areas we are facing. So this is a one thing to remember. So the other thing is, when we are saying they are putting humanity through humiliation rituals, everyone would look at you like you got two heads and laugh about it, because nobody knows what the humiliation rituals are like. We don't anticipate it. We don't like to think of social systems this way. But a perfect example, when the pandemic happened, we have to go to our, when you refuse to take this jabaroo right away, they'll give you some time and they put you through the humiliation rituals and constantly trying to tell you who is the boss. You are to be told what we are expecting from you. We are to do these things. So the humiliation ritual will be like this. For me, because we work with the general public and the community, we are to go to the office. I drive like 20 kilometers. You have your regular schedule, and you have to add on this extra visit 20 kilometers away. You cannot go 5 o'clock in the morning. The offices aren't open, so you have to go have to go and get these tests done in an office with absolutely no medical training whatsoever, no medical staff, just the office clerks. They were training to poke things in your nose like every other day, and they are so efficient doing these things. They never cut your slack. They are so professional. They have to take all the details down, write these things, and have you as drag into the office every other day. So they have to, the intimidating tax, there's nothing come out of it. You still whine about, oh, we're running a business, the business of caring for people. We are in a good day, we're always short staffed. They're constantly putting you in the spot when you have your full schedule. They're begging you, hey, can you go pick up some more clients? When you're dying to go home after work, they'll put you on the spot like this because we don't have enough staff as it is. But these people say they are running businesses and they are pulling these most senior staff, the experienced staff, and know what they're doing, and they're pulling them to the side and they put you through these kind of a stress model. And this is a humiliation ritual, and this is, I don't think of it as any differently at all for these hideous smart way of governing. And these people dish out these things because they are just doing a job. They are following the orders. And that boss lady was confronted and they are in charge of these kind of policy makings and the ones who are promoting. And this is what the humiliation rituals are like. And this is just another example. Even if you go to the store, you can see that the things are changing inside this facility. What is the appropriate change that needs to be done, and throw out everything that is poisonous and bring some healthy things that help to create health and vitality for the consumers. Instead, they are changing selves and they are changing the spot and moving things around. These are empty work. When people don't have enough energy to mind their own life, they had to go to work and do these silly work and moving things, shifting things and changing things, bringing out more things, instead of making substantial change for to promote and health and vitality for the working class people. This is the kind of games we are playing. So this is another scenario. The other scenario is the grandkids will put the grandparents in notice. If you don't get this jabberoo, we are not able to see the grandkids. If it is someone like me, I would be like, hey, good written, don't be coming around for Christmas, the birthdays, and hoping to get some kind of a card, and don't wait up for me to die. If I have any coins left, I'm going to bury them somewhere in the ground where you will have no access. For the argument's sake, obviously grandparents aren't so, parents and grandparents aren't so unkind and cold, but for the argument's sake, this is something that need to be confronted. And when you come up with these kind of suggestions, they aren't the most vital and vibrant part of humanity, right? Don't know how to cook a meal, proper meal. It's a Big Mac and all these other garbage feeding to kids. The kitchen sink is full of dishes and rotting food everywhere. Kitty litter is another place, and the dog hair, you literally wearing them on your clothes. And this is the kind of group that is there to put people on notice, that have a home, that have some kind of knowledge, at least can make up a meal and have a dialogue. And they aren't they are awoke and have a lot of fancy words, but never have ability to have any kind of dialogue, and just screaming and putting people and humiliating them and say all these politically correct words. So this is another area. It's a humiliation rituals. We are to know where we are standing. The same thing that crazy, the unconscious, ignorant, the female figures in your childhood, they be like, yeah, we know how they're gonna turn up with this attitude. They all now amount to be nothing and nobody, and this is the outcome going to be. You're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and this is the kind of projection you face. So still we are managing to navigate through information warfare. So this is another example. But now God, we think we can go and read 500 books and find out something about God, but it's really a consciousness, it's awareness, it's a level of connection. When we know these things, we inherently recognize these patterns and these information warfare. You will come into a place, you know, that agents that God wanna be, the shadow side of God, and definitely God wanna be, but it's nowhere near. And if the we want to be all sorts of things in life, but it doesn't mean that's what we are. So the agents roaming around and governing and scaring, making these policies that have extremely dire consequences for the humanity. playing God like a persona, but it does not mean it's God. What thing we can do is acknowledge the existence of this demonic existence, God wannabe, clown-like, demon-like, parasite-like agents got a hold of skills or knowledge to manipulate humanity. So when we're recognizing these agents in our own families, in our own childhood, and where we are recognizing the toxic energies and agents in our employment or the social structure, through social structures like that lady, the one who was confronted with and making policies, and you were completely out of touch with reality, and no one is going to hold your hand. When the day comes, the sheeple's going to start dishing out, feeding you what you have been dishing out all your life, your professional life. This is what the reality is. When we recognize these patterns and these repetitive cycles, you have fell into the knowledge of God, the higher source, the frequency, the creator. And so you will have no confusion when it comes to choose. You know exactly who is pretending, who is manipulating, who is gaslighting, who is creating a false persona, appears as real but is not real. But it is not God. It is God wannabe, imposter, parasite, demons. We can acknowledge these circumstances as extraordinary skills and potential and abilities. We acknowledge that much, but you are not God. The component to be that is kindness, compassion, unconditional love is nowhere to be found. Self-respect is not found because they are exploiting each other, they're sabotaging each other, blackmailing each other to exploit humanity, dish out a persona. So this is not a long-lasting situation. Someday everyone is going to be confronted, and we can see things as exactly they are. We know what God is, we know what not God is, and pretend to be. And this is really important for us to get these messages, like the algorithm. You know how in my channel it's like this, it's like a stuck and it doesn't go anywhere. It's completely in halt because it's not the model that fit into a box. It's outside the crazy ideas, crazy titles, doesn't fit into the model that they have dished out, they have planned and put these into these boxes of normal social circumstances, and existence is really indifferent. So therefore we can't go anywhere. We shun them. We put everything into a block. But what happened during that time, we are like, you know how the animal kingdom, the lion go piss on, urinate everywhere. And the animals, to protect their territory, either they want to hump somebody or they want to send a signal to tell everybody, this is your own area, this is where I roam around. So either way, there is signaling, and while the algorithms doing that, we are creating, we are promoting and claiming the space and creating and expressing our thoughts, our mind, our feelings, and our critical thinking, practical, logical judgment. It's all inside of these ideas and these thoughts we are expressing in a public forum. Just like years ago, we didn't even have the courage to look at ourselves in the mirror. We didn't like what we saw. We're hiding. We're just barely getting by, doing what needs to be done because emotionally the operative system isn't refined enough to figure things out. We are unable to see ourselves exactly who we are, because we have all these programming and the gaslighting and manipulation done to us through a family agent, through the social systems, and separated lonely individuals, because we haven't created that self-awareness. We didn't know where we stand when it come to information warfare. But every time you learn something new about yourself, you're able to release something. You are learning to look at yourself in a much more lighter version of yourselves. You're liking yourself. You're like, I'm not too bad. It's like that. And because we are in creating a little bit of balance every day, and with the different information, we are creating balance and vitality and flow of energy in a light body. It happens before you know it. You are content, you're whole, you're at peace, and you can love yourself, and you can come up, and you can put yourself out there like this and share your innermost private thoughts, how you look at the world, how you interpret information, because you have that inherent love for yourself, but also humanities at large. And we want everyone to find that inner voice and inner confident and inner child, by healing inner child, and by recognizing these toxic patterns, and recognizing that enemy is really not out there. It's imbalances in our own self and our own operating system. This become the most toxic for our existence, because now you are the one who is into a self-sabotage through all kinds of addiction, lack of knowledge to navigate information warfare will put you into these kind of imbalances in our lives. So this is how we navigate information warfare. And when we recognize the patterns, who put you into the prison of your own limitations when you were a child, is the when you recognize that model, you're immediately going to recognize the social model and also God complexes. What's out there pretending to be God, wanting to be God, thinking they are God, but is absolutely the opposite of God, because it's not well equipped to deal with the humanity, and the components are missing, and they aren't qualified to lead humanity. That's start off with the low frequency. And this is why humans aren't that cunning and scary, and not really wanting to hurt others, but the characteristics are manipulated into the human families, not just one or two or families. It's pretty much they hijack all of humanity. Every family go through this. In the wild, they are abandoning occasionally the youngsters, but in the human species there is a black sheep and gaslighting. The ones who are beating down on seems to be existing every family. So they have created this model to ambush humanity. They are this cunning, this dark, this kind of manipulators, and they are not God, don't have a God-like qualities, doesn't have a God-like frequency, so you aren't qualified to lead humanity forward because we are awakening. We aren't awoke anymore, we are awakening. So this is the difference, and we need to be this clear, and to navigate this information warfare, there is no room for doubt anymore. We are to be proactive and get ourselves situated towards survival, instead of getting cornered into 50 mini cities and the smart everything, but is absolutely not smart, is not qualified. So therefore we have to have the ability to completely eliminate these God complexes from our human consciousness, human existence, because they aren't adding value. They are teaching lessons it is good for, but it is not something that can move the humanity forward. It could be the beginning of the dead end for the humanity, like happens in the history. So this is what I came up with today, and thank you for listening.